Then you bring the praise up. And then you do the twerking.
Don't laugh at him. Don't do it. Don't be Tanisha.
But you ain't got that on film, dude.
Mike,
You're all the behind the scenes. Oh, he got all the behind the scenes. Hallelujah. Oh, we're so glad you didn't touch that down. Yeah.
Well. Again, we should have some behind the scenes moments because you miss Mr. Richard Cino's dancing.
they know how to dance. The world know how to dance. They see me get down. Take my hanky in.
The beat dropped and he thought it was the old school version.
No,
he was like, yes. Yeah, he started getting it in. We didn't know that's the Christian version.
Oh.
Yes. Well, guess who we have? We have our guest, Miss Tanisha Shanee. So awesome. She actually called into the show, and she was our guest, but we needed you in studio.
I understand.
We need you in studio because we have questions and we need to know. We need to know stuff, so help us out.
I'm here.
We need to know stuff. So, you can, for those that did not tune into that show, you can let them know a little bit about what you do and why we're so excited that you're here with us, Skinny Pop.
What's up, the food?
How about I don't eat that?
I don't eat
So
them.
anyways.
She said, how about I don't eat that?
I eat real food.
All
Real healthy food. So I am Tanisha Shanee, and I am an international healthy lifestyle strategist, author. I'm a lot of things. Chef now, hush. And I am, so people called me inspirational about 2.5 years ago when I started to lose weight. And it started when I was like losing 50 pounds and then 60, and I eventually lost over 150 pounds. Without weight loss surgery and no products on the market, I basically just embraced healthy living, understood that it was a lifestyle, and it has now been over 2.5 years that I have lost the weight, maintained it, kept it off, and just living the life. And now my only purpose is to go out there and help other people to do the same exact thing.
Amen.
Amen.
Praise God.
That's awesome.
So how are you maintaining after 2 years?
So I just know that, certain things I need to do. So you have to drink water, right? So I was never a water person before. You couldn't pay me to drink water.
Amen. Amen.
And that was actually one of the first things that I did. When I got on the scale in October 2012, I was met with 2 letters. So instead of me getting a number, I got OL, and OL indicated I was over the limit. And my scale's capacity went up to 350. So all I know is that on that night, I was over 350 pounds. And the first thing that I did, I went to the store and I just got a gallon of water. And I said, all right, this is the first thing I'm gonna start doing, and start drinking water. And I just started to drink water, and I ate fruit at night. And I just started to exercise in my house. Then eventually went to the gym because I knew that there were certain things that the gym provided that I didn't have at home. And I'm cheap, so I'm not going to buy the different equipment that they offer. And I just, started to prepare my meals, go out there and, look for the sales, look for everything that they do have, and just make sure that it is feasible for me. Prepare all my meals. Like, I just made it a lifestyle, and the more that I made it a lifestyle, it just became fun, because I'm one of those people, I never realized that I love cooking. So I had to go back to that love. And now instead of making the fried chicken with the macaroni and cheese, Southern style, I had to now make it, a little bit healthier. Add some broccoli, use wheat pasta. I'm not really a fan of wheat pasta. I like the vegetable pasta more.
I was about to say, I'd rather not have pasta. If I have to have meat pasta, I would just.
I will eat it, but I don't prefer it.
Yeah,
I've never had
vegetable pasta is really good.
I've never tried that.
It's really good. My mom, we were eating that before I started to lose the weight, because it's like, you don't really taste it. Like, you don't taste like spinach. It doesn't taste like spinach or anything. So it's just like, to me, it's regular.
So it looks green?
Some of them are green and some are actually white.
Okay.
They try to trick the kids, to make the kids believe like they're eating regular pasta. But you don't really taste the difference, but you get a serving of vegetables and every in every aspect of your meal. And and I just started to reduce certain things. Bread. I was a bread demon. And I, give me a can of biscuits and it was a wrap in my mouth. So I had to really start to reduce it. So now I have bread in the morning if I do have bread for the day. And I have multigrain bread instead of having white bread. And I don't drink soda. I try to stay away from that. And what else did I eliminate all the way? Soda and juice. Fruit juice was like Minute Maid juice, the 5 for 5 sale. Yeah, that was my thing. 5 for 5. Yeah, I remember the meals. See, it was like 3 years ago. Now I'm at like 4 for 5.
Yeah.
I see the sale.
That's awesome though, and I think it's so important for people to hear that, because what's presented before us on television and magazines is, if you take these pills, you'll lose weight. If you do what, this celebrity did, even though that celebrity's not doing that, you'll lose weight. If you get this surgery. I know personally a couple of people that have had surgeries, and I have no good stories in terms of the outcome for any of them.
Yeah.
And one young lady, like, she's still battling different things after she had her surgery, in and out of the hospital. No one told her after she had her surgery that you still can't, like, you can't eat a certain amount of food because of the surgery. Her stomach is so tiny.
Exactly.
So now if she does eat over a certain amount, like, it makes her sick.
Exactly.
So there's a lot that they don't tell you. I remember seeing on TV, it was a young lady, her sister was overweight, and the young lady was getting married, and she told her sister, if you want to be in a wedding, you have to have surgery, because you're not going to be in my wedding and be fat. She had the surgery, she died on the table.
And that was her sister?
She died on the table. Yes, the bride's sister. She died on the table. And I remember that day, that's crazy, because she had no intentions on going to get surgery, but because you encouraged her for your wedding, because you were, focused on how somebody in your wedding party was going to look, like, your sister died as a result of that, and it's so unfortunate. But I think it's good to hear that someone did it by eating healthy and changing your lifestyle and lost more weight than people I know that have went and gotten surgery.
I mean, I think the most important part, people must understand, it's really a mindset. Regardless of what, you can have all the vegetables set in front of you. If your mind is not in that capacity where you are thinking healthy, you can have everything set before you. Right. You're not going to ever want that. You're not going to desire it. So you have to understand, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because, and it can't just be because of my body. I want to look great in a two-piece. It has to be like a major purpose. Right. If you have illnesses, I don't want to take those medications. Right. Me personally, thankfully, I was not a pre-diabetic. I didn't have hypertension. However, I was chronically in pain. And I was living on Percocets to the highest dosage. So when I heard about Prince and they're like, he's on Percocet and he could have overdosed, it really made me scared. And I was like, wow, that could have been me. Because I was taking Percocet to the point where I was functioning. Whereas anyone who takes anything, they're out for the count. I was driving, I was going to work, and I was teaching, and I was doing everything, taking the highest doses of Percocet. Wow. And once I started to lose the weight, eventually the pain started to go away. So when you start to see that it actually does help you, and you start to reduce from 5 medications to 3 medications to 1 medication to none, that's when you start to say, wow, this is really a lifestyle. Everyone is looking for overnight success. And this is why when people constantly in my DM or social media, like, do you want to sell this product? I can't endorse a product because I did not utilize any products in the last 3.5 years. Wow. October is going to make 4 years. And I cannot tell you that I've used products and this is why I lost 150 pounds and kept it off. And so when I tell people, no, you can change your mind. You have to change your mind. It's going to take time. It's going to be a battle. And that's the one thing that I give credit to, is that I turned to God. That was the one. I've never been a firm believer. I believed in God, but that night, to not see a number, the only thing I could do was to cry out to God. Like, I literally cried, and I was just like, I need your help. Like, I need you. And once I did that, I swear I felt like the Holy Ghost just came in and I just cleaned my house. And so when I tell people that, they don't want to hear that. Oh, well, God can't help me. I've gone to churches and I've tried to help church members, and I've been told from pastors, no, God can't help me, God can't help my members. And I'm like, So you can
Wow.
go to God to get a new house, to get a new car, to get a bigger ministry. But when I come and tell you that God can help your members to change their entire life and to become healthier, mind, body, and spirit, you're telling me that's easier said than done. And I've had people tell me I went to the pulpit and I prayed for God to get my surgery approved. I had one young man and I said, I'm going to pray against it. I said, I'm going to pray so hard. I said, because you don't need this surgery. And thankfully, I found out that his surgery was denied. The doctor all of a sudden said he is not going to redo his lab band and do another surgery. And he was like, so did you really pray? I said, I was praying. I said, because you didn't need that. You have to change your mindset. And these people are dying. No one is talking about it. People are not being honest about how their life has really changed in the negative. You know, people start to become alcoholics. People they fall into deep depression. No one's talking about it. Everyone is just saying, look how great my body is. Yeah, your body looks great, but now you still have to wear the same size clothing because now you have all this excess skin.
Wow. Well, we're going to get ready to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to continue to speak with Tanisha Shanee, and I want to find out about these muffins that are on the table that I am being denied. I don't know why. But we are going to hear from Mr. Diedrich Haddon. Let's hear from Diedrich Haddon.
Yes. That's the only person that will do that.
Well, I have some muffins in front of me.
Okay. I have a question, my sister. Like a lot of what you were talking about, could the word moderation come in? Because they always say eat things
Is in moderation.
in moderation.
Absolutely.
But I'm talking. Well, let me be honest. I'm talking about
fried chicken.
right. I'm talking about even bad things.
Even bad things you can have in moderation. I'm a firm believer that you still need to have a little bit of bad in your lifestyle. I like to call diet, so diet is
Right,
not on the vocabulary. And the reason why I had a personal experience when I first started was the middle of October, and right after that Thanksgiving came, and I was eating clean for that time, and I got sick. Because here I was on Thanksgiving, a little bit of macaroni and cheese, some chicken, and it wasn't even that bad, and I got sick, and I was sick for 4 days. So now I believe that you need to still have a piece of fried chicken once in a while. You need to have, if you eat beef, you need to have that burger once in a while. But once in a while it needs to be like once a month maybe, not at once a week. You know, so just kind of have it and still have like a portion of it, small portion of it.
So in moderation, based on what your lifestyle is.
Yeah, you know, if you're really active, then you know I see people do a little bit more.
Okay.
But if you only work out twice a week, 3 times 30 minutes, then I would say once a month, treat yourself, plan that treat.
Right.
You know, make that your cheat meal and say, hey, I'm gonna go out with my friends. We're gonna go have BBQs, and today I'm gonna have those wings. And then you just prepare yourself for that.
Right. My other question to you, and I was going to ask it the last time, but we got cut off. And then she reminded me, don't forget to ask her that question.
My question.
I want to talk about relationships.
Okay.
Because you said over 350.
Yes.
And now you're down to wherever you're at. Okay. Everybody said, don't be asking her how much she weighed.
I'm like 195, 200.
Wow, praise God.
So.
In between that, how have you found relationships? I mean, not just, I'm talking about as far as family, as far as friends, as far as boyfriends. Does that change the scenario of how life is lived because of the weight?
Yes. You have to, for me personally, I was in a relationship when I first started, and that person was not supportive, and he made me realize that anyone that I was going to be with was going to be someone that I needed in my life, and they had to be supportive of my lifestyle, whether it's eating, the way that I was thinking, even the way that I was living. So within the first 20 pounds, he had to go. And then I literally sat down and I made a list, and I prayed and I asked God, I need a man with these needs.
Praise God.
You know, and he sent that person, and that relationship went through. And even at that time, my life changed, because as you lose the weight, things started to manifest. So here I was, no longer just Tanisha the teacher. I was now becoming a lifestyle coach. I started to do interviews, and I felt like he was uncomfortable with the fact that people were reaching out to me. Although he was supportive of it, it became uncomfortable for him. And that relationship ended. And again, I went back to the drawing board and I said, okay, God, here's my new needs. And I entered a new relationship with someone. And the good part was that that person was already established. They were already in the industry of their field. They were known. So they really understood my dreams. And they helped me to really get that. When I was like a child, God put this dream in me and I needed to live that dream. And I never understood. And so being around him, it was like, oh, so God made you to be this person, so he made me to be this person as well. And he was actually the one that encouraged me to write my book. Well, it wasn't a good encouragement, but it was an encouragement to write the book. And I wrote the book in 4 days, and I was like, I'm going to be Tanisha Shanee. And I just made that decision because I knew this is what God needed me to do. And it has just, allowed me to see that you need to just have certain people around you who are supportive and who are for you and who are doing the same thing. So it's harder to be with someone who is not living their dreams, who is, they're living a regular 9 to 5, and there's nothing against that.
That would be me.
That would be me.
Well, now that you mention that, I come here.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I sit here every day, and every time that we have a show, and I feel like I don't know when or how or if even, but I feel like I'm so inspired when I hear that other people have quit and have stepped out on faith and have moved forward. And I said that before you actually came in the room, that is something that Praise Radio does for me. It allows me to watch other people walk in their dreams and continue to dream for myself that, okay, one day I'm gonna do this. I just don't know, when that day is, but I love to see other people going after their heart's desire, because my biggest fear in life is to die, and I've never lived. And I feel like I say that all the time. Like, you wake up every day and you're on this 9 to 5 and you're like this hamster and you're going and you're going and you're going to work, but you're not really doing that thing that would give you the most pleasure. So I feel like I'm always encouraged to hear somebody say, this is what I'm doing. I went after my dreams. And my husband is a dreamer. So I feel like even with that, one of us dreams and one of us stays in the box. It's like somebody has to, hey here, And I feel like through him, I've gone overseas because he's played basketball. Like, I've experienced a lot of things that I normally, and even that, I had to quit my job to do that. Like, to let go of, that security to say, okay, we're going to go overseas and we're going to live in another country for this time frame, and it's going to be, about your lifestyle, but it still wasn't about following exactly what is in my gut.
Yeah.
One of the things I gotta say, that of everything that's been said, especially by you, that I follow, is that you went to God first. And this is why everything worked out for you.
Yes.
Because you realize that He is your only source. And the other scripture that came to mind when you were speaking was, God will supply all my needs. Not some of them, all my needs. And you had a need in that area, and only God could supply it. And He has supplied it for you. So my hat is off, bro.
It's here.
Yeah, my hat is off too.
No, I was gonna ask, can you briefly share with us that moment when you made that decision and realized, like, this is what God has for me to do. This wasn't just about me being on this journey by myself, for myself. Like, this is about reaching out to other people.
It started in 2013 when the first person contacted me to coach them. And here I was, like 60 pounds light. And I was like, how can I coach you? I'm still like 290. And they're like, no, I need your help. So that's when it first started. In August 2014, I was sitting at my desk and I heard God say to me, it's time to do something different. And I was like, okay, like, I love teaching. Like, I'm happy here. I'm making good money. And, the devil always comes with his foolishness. And at the same time, my best friend, she started a new job. And she said, oh, they need a director of operations. I think you'd be perfect. I went for the interview. Although on the second interview, I sat outside and I really felt that gut feeling telling me, stay your butt in this car and go home. And I took the job. On my second day, I knew I made the biggest mistake. I cried. Wow. And I went for 4 months in this job, full of misery, unhappy, and I was just like, something has to give. I gained 15 pounds, and when I gained the 15 pounds, that was when I literally went in there and I was like, I am taking my life back. And no one understood. They was like, what are you talking about? And there was a lady there who was a consultant, and she would come in and she was just talking one day. She was like pretty much our mediator and our counselor. And she said, look guys, if this is not your purpose. And when she started talking about purpose, I was like, what is this lady talking about? And I heard her story. She quit her job with DOE, secure a job, and she said God told her in 2013 or 14 that it was it for her. Like, this is it, he needs you to do something more. And I said, well, maybe it's what God was telling me in August 2014. But I didn't understand, and no one around me, my family are not dreamers. And I just, next thing you know, here I was in August 2015. I literally took off Monday and Tuesday, and I said I'm not going to work. And I'm glad that I didn't, because the things that were going on, I really probably would have been in jail or fired. And crazy stuff. So, you know,
You gotta come back to it.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, right.
when I went in, I was driving in, and there was a video my other best friend posted on my timeline from Steve Harvey about, you know, jump and take that leap. And there was this one part, he said, you have a dream that you want to do, and you hate your job every day. You go to this job, and yet you're just miserable. And when I said, I drove in, I said, that's it. Today is the day, and I quit my job. And I didn't understand. It took some time to manifest. It took time for me to really understand. I thought that I only wanted to coach people, but God kept putting these dreams into me. He kept reminding me, no, I need you to do more. I need you to go out there and go across the globe, because there are people who need your help. And then it just started to, you know, get crazy. Next thing you know, I'm baking, I'm preparing meals. Although I was extremely against, I was against cooking anyone's meals. I was like, I don't want to make your meals, make your own meals. I'll just tell you how to do it. I can only do workshops, and I just want to speak on stage. And I'm like, so God said, okay, you're gonna do that, but they also just need a little bit of help. And next thing you know, here I was in my kitchen baking muffins, and you know, now I made healthy muffins.
While we're on
I don't
the air.
know. I feel like my sister texted me. She was like, I want to know what kind of muffin is
Yeah.
that.
So we need to taste it while we're on the air, so
So there
people
are
can
two
see.
muffins here. I have cranberry zucchini muffins and the skinny banana chocolate chip.
Oh man, I tell y'all chocolate chip was in the house.
Right there.
Yeah.
So I made you guys some so you can try them, and hopefully you enjoy them.
I was
Which one is the chocolate
I want to
chip?
try it on the
The
air.
chocolate chip, I think is good.
Leave them alone. You don't like those? No.
I can't with him. He wants to have all the chocolate.
Come on, don't play. I got the shakes. Man. Come on.
I was gonna try to.
You gonna take yours home?
I was gonna try to.
Boy.
No, you better not be making a mess of it.
No mess. I like that reaction.
I'm glad I got pockets.
Good.
And I like I need it.
I don't play with my snacks. So
And I don't let you play with my snacks either.
What kind do you have?
I like the chocolate.
The chocolate chips are good.
Is carbs? Like what's in here?
So
As I'm hesitant.
whole wheat flour. With the chocolate chip ones is Greek yogurt. With the zucchinis, unsweetened applesauce. Like 1 tablespoon of almond milk. You know, eggs, baking soda, baking powder.
Wow.
That's good.
And the good thing about
With
this,
this, I have some chocolate chip. I take some banana.
the good thing about this is before
And what
I came
You had
upstairs,
chocolate-
yeah,
chocolate
I had
chip.
2-piece chicken with coleslaw.
Okay, so
So
before
this
we
balances
go,
it out. This
we're
balances
over
it out.
now. Can you please tell everyone how they can reach out to you?
It's success.com, and you can connect to all of my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope. I do Periscope. And you can purchase a hard copy of my book, or you can purchase it through Amazon and get the ebook if you would desire that. But get the hard copy, you get it autographed.
Oh man.
Well, we want to thank you for coming on the
Thank
show.
you.
I do. I really want to thank you.
And for bringing
Yeah, me too. I want to thank you.
She is so greedy. Well, this will not be the last that you will hear from Miss Tanisha Shanee. She is going to be starting a show soon.
Yes.
So you'll be able to
Oh,
hear
that's
more
great.
from her. And
All right, okay, all right. Thank
Try
you.
the cranberry.
Try to
I
get-
make it
okay.
like real quick.
Okay.
Well, he touched that one already, so you gotta eat it.
Oh, no,
He's a
no,
mess. Our next show is May 15th, so make sure you join us. Yes, we will follow up with you on Miss Tanisha Shanee's show. And I'm very excited to say that we now have a network. So Praise Radio is now on the Power and Praise Network. So I'm super excited about that, and Tanisha's show will also be on there. And you can also go on there now and find a couple of her YouTubes so that you can be encouraged and inspired to start on your healthy journey. We will see you soon.
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
Finish these. I'm being a lady, so he's just going all in. I'm trying to be a lady.
Love y'all.
about it.
Stay encouraged, stay
Thank you for joining
focused.
us. God bless you. Follow us on everything at PraiseRadioShow.com.
Everything.
Yeah.
And have a blessed one. Bye.
Amen. Stay encouraged, stay focused. God bless.
Get you some muffins.
Yeah, let's get another one of them.
You try the other one. She wanted me to. She said, please try the other one.
Yeah,
Sorry, I won't wait.
You keep passing me the chocolate chip.
Where's the zucchini?
Which one is
Right
the
there.
zucchini?
I see one right there.
No, I want the teeny one.
Zucchini.
This one right here, right? The zoo? That zoo?
Give me cranberry.
I like cranberry too.
I like it. That's better than chocolate.
No.
Oh, yeah, no.
Nothing's never better than chocolate chip.
Uh-oh, look.
Oh. Ah, she brought me flowers. Oh. What's the bubble?
Ooh, that has been.
What's that?
Did you and Dad?
Can you get a picture with my phone?
Did you and Dad?